Say hi, Mally. This is Mally. I showed her in, I'm not sure when it was, but it was a few days ago, or a week or something like that. But this is Mally. She is one of my boss's dogs. We are looking after both her and her brother Frankie for, I think, until tomorrow or Wednesday, I think. While my bosses are gone away. I think they're coming back either tomorrow or Wednesday. So, yeah, Frankie is somewhere upstairs with the living room probably, or in the living room I should say, probably. So, but yeah, this is Mally. She's so cute. Anyway, so today I'm going to be telling you guys about the story behind Bloody Mary. So, yeah, so if you hear any whining or barking, that's Mally. She's gone behind me somewhere. But yeah, both her and her brother are so cute. I freaking adore them, so I'm gonna miss them when they go, but my bosses, they usually bring them into work, sometimes, so I'll definitely end up seeing them at work a bunch, so, yeah, love them. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to be telling you guys about the whole story behind Bloody Mary, and also this is VLOGOWEEN day 16. So, I wasn't actually going to do this video today, but earlier today I was looking at all the videos that I had planned for the rest of VLOGOWEEN, and I noticed that the dates were off, because usually when I finish a video for VLOGOWEEN, I always put a check mark next to that day to show that that is done and out of the way. So I looked at it earlier, and I noticed that, one, the check marks weren't on for yesterday or the day before, and two, I had two completely different videos in mind for the video that I did yesterday and the day before. So yesterday it said I was supposed to do a story called Candy Corn Man, but I didn't do that yesterday. Yesterday I think I did like BuzzFeed quizzes, so it was all completely off. I mean, I could have just ended up doing the rest of the videos like they were on the list, but yeah, I just figured, you know what, I'm just going to take all the videos remaining for the rest of VLOGOWEEN and just completely redo it. So I still have the same videos that I had planned for VLOGOWEEN day 30 and 31. Those are still the same. The 30th is going to be my trying Halloween snacks video, and the 31st is going to be my what I got for Halloween video. So those didn't change, but the rest of them did. And I also had to change VLOGOWEEN day 20 because this Friday, the 20th, I am going to be going to a place. I'm not going to say where it is, like the actual town, but I'm going to a place about an hour away because my mom has an appointment out there. So I'm going out there with her, and I'm going to do a bit of shopping, maybe do more Christmas shopping. So that's what I'm going to be doing this Friday. So this Friday I will be doing a haul video as of now. So, and also there's a bookstore out there that I really want to go to. Like, I was looking at TikTok last night, and this girl was talking about her, because she went to this town that I'm talking about, that I'm going to Friday. Because she's originally from Ontario, but she came to Newfoundland, and she stayed in that town that I'm talking about. And every day she posted a TikTok saying day 1 of being in this place, day 2 of being in this place. And, yeah, so she was there for about a month. I think her last video was day 31, so literally exactly a month. But she took a video on her TikTok and just pointed her phone at, like, looked around the bookstore, and it looks huge. Like, I don't mean like the actual store looks huge, I mean huge as in book-wise, like how many books there are. It looks like there's so many books there, and she only showed like one aisle, I think. So this is what all she showed of the bookstore, and I think it's only like one aisle that she showed. Like, are you kidding me? It looks freaking huge. So I'm super excited. It's called the Town Square Bookstop. So I already asked my mom yesterday or the day before, if we go out there this Friday, can we please go to that bookstore? And she said that she already had planned to go there because she wanted to see what books are available there. So I'm super excited for that. Depending on how much all the books are, I'm probably going to end up getting like a whole whack of them. And we're also probably going to end up going to Walmart, and I'm probably going to get a few books there as well, maybe 2 or 3. So be prepared, because this Friday's video for VLOGOWEEN Day 20 will probably involve like so many books. It's honestly disgusting. And I don't even know how much the books cost at that bookstore. I'll find out when I get there, of course, but just be... I think she wants to go upstairs, so I'm just going to let her out. I'll be right back. I'm back. So anyway, like I said, depending on how much all those books cost, I'm probably going to end up buying like so many of them. So we'll see what happens with that. But like I said, today I'm going to be telling the entire story of Bloody Mary, like this whole story behind it. So I found this on pcsb.org. Now there obviously are a lot of other Bloody Mary stories online, but I figured this is the one I'm going to read to you guys. So I'm literally going to read it word for word. It's not super long, but anyway, so let's just jump right into it. Remember that annoying little story of Bloody Mary? You know, that light a candle in your bathroom with the lights out late at night, look in the mirror and say her name like 3 times in a row. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. And hope you won't be found dead with your eyes scratched out. What a way to explain it. Or with claw marks all over your body, or the possibility that you will be forever trapped behind the glass of the mirror for all eternity. I don't like reading the story right now, because I literally just thought of it. I'm not a big fan of reading it right now, because there's a literal mirror right here. I'm literally looking right at it, and I can see my reflection through it. So this kind of freaks me out a little bit, especially when I'm in the basement. I should have thought about that before I started filming this video. But, I mean, hey, at least the lights are off. At least the lights aren't off, and I'm not in my bathroom. So, but still, I'm in the basement well, it's dark out now, I think. So, I'm in my basement in the evening. It's not quite dark. Well, it's not quite nighttime. It's literally like 7:51 p.m. right now, and this kind of like in the evening, going towards night, if that makes sense. But still, I'm in the basement by myself, because like in the basement we have my room and my parents' room, and I'm the only one in my basement right now, filming this video with the door locked, a mirror right there, and it's getting kind of dark-ish right now. So I should have thought about that, but you know, we're just gonna move on. Just forget about it. Let's move on. What a fun and cherry tale. Well, one must wonder where the tale had come from. There are hundreds of backstories on how Bloody Mary came to be, but one of the most reasonable as it can get when a reflection kills you, is the tale of her demise. In the 1800s, there lived a young girl named Mary, and illness washed over the place where they lived, making people drop dead after a short period of time. When physicians couldn't find a pulse, or when they put a mirror under the nose of the seemingly dead, there might not always be a condensation on it from their breaths. So the fallen would be easily assumed to be dead. But were they? Cases of people who were pronounced dead but weren't happened often. So when one would die, people would put a small hole in the coffin and put a piece of string through the hole that was attached to a bell. The bell would hang on a stick by the homes of the deceased. Also, if you hear wind, or if you hear something in the background, that's the wind. It's crazy windy and rainy. It has been all day. So if that's kind of like getting on your nerves a little bit, try your best to ignore it, because that's literally what I'm trying to do, trying my best to ignore it right now. But it's literally been like that all day. It's been shitty weather all day, raining, windy. Like, when I got into my car to come to work not this morning, I didn't start work until 5, or not 5, 12, I got off at 5. But when I got in my car to come to work, I could feel the car shaking. That's how windy it was. So yeah, it's been like that pretty much all day. Anyway, moving on. Where were we? The bell would hang on a stick by the homes of the deceased, and if they woke up, they would simply pull the string, ring the bell, and would be dug up. Of course, when Mary was too bedridden and slowly died, she was laid in a coffin in her grave. She wasn't to be buried under it just yet. It would be easier to unnail the coffin she was put away in. The string and the bell was, of course, on hand. Days passed then, up to a week. Her parents never left the house, wishing with their very being that their sweet Mary would awaken again. Friends of the parents claimed that if she had not awoken yet, then she never would. That day the parents left the house with their friends at their behalf. When her parents had gone, a neighbor came and began to fill her grave, string and all, just in case she would wake up if she was still alive, and if so, she suffocated. The neighbor had said his remorse and walked to his home. Not soon after Mary awoken from her slumber, she pulled the string to the bell that wouldn't be heard from her parents, who were out and the neighbor was too far away. She pulled and pulled the string until the bell fell, and so did the stick. She began clawing and scratching at her wooden prison under her fingers until her fingers bled. Then she cut scratching until she breathed her last breath. When the parents arrived home, the father soon realized that the bell was yards away from it originally was, and soon called for his wife to come and help him dig up their daughter. When they dug through, they unlatched the coffin and found Mary in a petrified state, her hands like claws, covered in blood, same with her white dress she was buried in. They put a mirror under her nose to see if her breaths would show, not slow. Man, especially when I'm like, I don't usually have trouble talking, like reading, whatever, but every time I'm talking in front of people or talking in a video, I always stutter. It's fine, you guys get what I mean, but it's not that I stutter, it's just like, sometimes I read really fast, especially out loud. Like, I'd be reading, like, this is the book I'm currently reading, and when I'm in my room, like, by myself, I usually do read out loud, and when I read out loud, I read really, really fast. So, I mean, that's what I usually do when I'm reading, like, stories from my phone for YouTube. I usually read pretty fast. That's why I start stuttering and stuff like that, just because I read pretty fast sometimes. So, sorry about that, but that's just what it is. When they dug through, they unlatched the coffin and found Mary in a petrified state, her hands like claws, covered in blood, same with her white dress she was buried in. They put a mirror under her nose to see if her breaths would show. Condensation was shown on the mirror, but even so, she was dead. Her spirit is said to have attached to the mirror, and now whenever one says Bloody Mary 3 times, she comes and claws at the unknowing victim. This is just one of the said stories to be about her demise. There are plenty, and there might not even be a fact behind the year, but still, it's a gory story that can still have your heart beat up every time you say her name. Oh, literally every time I read a story about Bloody Mary, and I usually try not to read the story out loud. Like, if I'm reading a story about Bloody Mary, I will try to read it silently. But if I'm reading a story about Bloody Mary on YouTube, obviously I have no other choice but to say it out loud, unless I could find a way to edit it and make you guys read the story. But that's just not going to work. But usually when I end up reading a story about Bloody Mary on YouTube, literally any story, not just Bloody Mary, I always read out loud, especially on YouTube. Because that's probably Melly and Frankie. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, when I read stories on here, I always, of course, have to read out loud. So when I'm reading, like, stories about Bloody Mary, that is the main story that kind of, like, gets my heart beating a little bit. Because, like, I've heard so many horror stories about that. Especially times like now where I'm in a basement by myself with a mirror literally right there. Like, in my room, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal because I don't have a mirror in my room. My room is just in the basement. I don't have a mirror. But just in here, like, it's dark out. I'm in a basement by myself, and there's a mirror literally right in front of me, or not in front of me, but next to me. You guys get what I mean? So, just like that type of stuff, and then I'm saying Bloody Mary, like, over and over again, just because I'm reading the story about her. Like, that kind of, like, freaks me out a little bit, just because, you know, where I am, like, where my setting is, you know what I mean? So, where my whole setup is for VLOGOWEEN, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me, and I will see you guys tomorrow for VLOGOWEEN Day 17. Yes. Bye, guys.